Yo-ho! Welcome to the stream, or welcome to the video if you're watching this later on. Either way, let's get started. I just realized we're gonna see how Vivia reacts to this. It's okay. I'm not glitching.
Again with the falling. Why can't it ever be a gentle landing? Oh, Vivia. This is called the Mystery Labyrinth.
He knows what this is.
This place is a physical manifestation of mysteries from the case?
Yeah, he got it.
You can tell? Oh, well, anyway, this actually isn't my forte. It's...
Due to the power of death. Her, right?
Huh?
So you really could see me this whole time.
He could?
It's due to my spiritual affinity. Ever since I was young, I've been able to see otherworldly things. My forte was gained through training that innate talent. Though, I wasn't able to see her clearly like this before. I could tell you were talking to some haze following you around, but that was it. Until one day, I used my spectral projection at the agency, and saw that death got clear as crystal. After that, I did some research. I discovered that the WDO Underground Book Vault held something called the Book of Death. And also, that someone had taken it.
Did I take it? Before I lost my memories?
I don't know. Since you're a rookie, I doubt you'd have access to the book vault.
I mean,
Only
maybe?
a handful of people have WDO clearance for that.
Just a handful?
Need to
Anyway,
fix my desk
you've
level.
been using this ability to solve the
There
other
we go.
cases up till now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, this is also related to the mysterious deaths of all those culprits? My guess is, clearing a labyrinth, a materialization of a mystery, causes its true perpetrator to die. If that's the case, you've killed a lot of people with your own hands, Yuma.
Technically, it was Shinigami's
Well,
hands.
I didn't really kill anyone. It's just what happens when...
Nope. I may be the one reaping their souls, but the blood is still on your hands.
You're the one that wants to
Hey!
reap their souls.
No point in pretending to be a goody two-shoes. You're risking your life to solve these mysteries.
I see. So you're determined to do this, huh? Sorry, but I don't think I have that kind of conviction myself. So, I think I'll take a nap here while you go and risk your life.
You can sleep if you want, but you won't be able to get out.
Is that so?
If you're not with Master when and if he solves the labyrinth, this place will collapse around you. Well,
I
if
don't
you
think that's
have any
gonna work
regrets
on
in
him.
the real world, you're free to die here.
Regrets. I don't have any of those. But there are still some things I've left unfinished.
Scoot my chair closer.
Especially after you exposed the mystery of this case.
What do you mean by that?
I think he has to kill us
I'll
still.
be perfectly clear. I'm just going to tag along. I'll leave the heavy lifting to you.
I don't care what you do, just don't get in our way. Well, Master, let's do the usual.
Yeah, okay.
Master, are you ready to give your life for the truth?
I am.
Mystery sword.
Is that sword for cutting through mysteries? This place must be pretty dangerous.
They really don't have to explain anything to him. It's great. I stand corrected. We probably need to explain this.
Here you go, Master. Here's your solution key.
Is that key something like a clue for the case?
Never mind.
Wow. Looks like you're ready to go.
Could you be more of a doubter? Whatever. I'm gonna ignore you. So let's go and unriddle this mystery labyrinth. Let's hunt down this culprit who preys on the truth.
We have to walk? This is unbearable.
Come on! You're bumming me out here.
I thought you were going to ignore him.
I mean, probably isn't the easiest to ignore. He's figured, well, probably everything out before even coming here.
Say, Vivia, do you remember anything about the case?
You mean Dr. Huesca's murder? Or are you talking about when Chief Yako was attacked?
Huh?
That's new.
You remember? Everyone
Probably because
else
you could
that
already
came here
see
lost their
Shinigami and all
memories.
that.
That's pretty rare. Must be because of his whole spiritual thing.
So the others lost their memories. That's why no one remembers this death god.
How rude of them. It's thanks to yours truly that those cases got solved.
That reminds me, I used my coalescence with Fubuki before Vivia. But Vivia is the only one who came into the mystery labyrinth.
I guess coalescence got overwritten. Maybe it only takes the most recent ability. I don't know either.
You don't know? But coalescence is your power, Shinigami.
Relax, will ya? Minor detail.
You would have been better off with Fubuki. She would have been far more useful for this case.
It doesn't matter anyway. No one can use their forte here.
Oh. So now I really don't have to do anything. Thank goodness. What a relief.
Jeez! You ever think your lack of motivation could be contagious?
Hey, relax.
Alright. Time to meet our mystery phantom. Probably.
Ooh, there's that mystery!
Huh?
And cue Vivia not reacting.
I told you to stop surprising me like that.
I thought this labyrinth would only require your wits. But it looks like it's going to take more than that, Yuma.
Well, he doesn't have a whole lot of wits, so he doesn't have a choice.
I mean, fair, but sure.
Huh? Why didn't a problem appear?
Not only was there no problem, no choice appeared either. Master, maybe you don't even know which mystery to start with to solve this case.
Yeah, there's so many unknowns. I'm honestly feeling lost right now.
Come on! You gotta know where to start with this stuff, or you won't be able to solve a single thing. Let's decide that for now. What's the first mystery of this case?
The first mystery is
How we got into the,
the fact that Dr.
thing?
Wesker was murdered in a completely locked room with no way in or out. The doctor was located deep in the critical lab, behind layers of security. And yet, he was found stabbed to death. We were the first to discover the body. At the time, we were controlling the robot, Amapel. Because of that, we were thought to be the culprits, but we obviously aren't. So how did the culprit get in and out of the doctor's lab? That's what I don't know.
But the culprit is definitely the hitman, right?
I think so, but I'm not absolutely sure. Besides, even if the hitman did it, there's the question of who hired him.
Definitely,
But there's no doubt the
Hell
hitman
smile.
stabbed Chief Yako. That's the only thing I'm absolutely certain about.
oh great, here he comes.
Kanai Ward's garbage. What are you doing here?
Yomi Hell Smile.
So the director of the Peacekeepers is here.
Yeah, but he's just part of the Mystery Labyrinth.
I figured. In other words, he's a monster created from the labyrinth, right?
Right.
You pieces of shit. You're disturbing the peace of Kanai Ward!
This guy doesn't seem like an easy opponent.
But
This
we
is
have
such
no
a cool
choice.
looking design.
For Chief Yako. For everyone.
You killed Dr. Weska, didn't you? Turn yourselves in so I can torture you to death!
Or Friday, honestly. Who knows? Time is weird. Raincoat time. I need to fix my camera soon. Alright. Gap. Alright, you be quiet for a second. I need to look at this. Toxic gas properties, shoe print on Amapal's head. Toxic gas is bacterial, so regular gas masks are ineffective against it. Takes place 30 minutes after. Or shoe prints. I don't know which one we might start with, so I'll stick with toxic gas.
Weska. You disarmed the security system to the doctor's lab. And then murdered him inside. Until you actually entered the lab, the security system for the critical lab stayed active. It's impossible to bypass the system while it's active. In other words, no one can enter the doctor's lab. There couldn't be an intruder.
Oh, alright, so I know which one
Which
it most
makes
likely
you the
is.
culprit.
Alright, so it's the
Right.
shoe print, I'm assuming then. Yeah, it would be pretty tough to get through the security system to enter the critical lab. But the doctor died before we got inside, which means there had to have been an intruder. Anyways, let's take another look at the solution keys and see if any evidence stands out. I have not been doing a lot of voices for these, so
You're the
hang
ones
on. You be quiet for a second, need to switch over.
Killed Dr. Weska. You disarmed the security system to the doctor's lab. And then murdered him inside. Until you actually entered the lab, the security system for the critical lab stayed active. It's impossible to bypass the system while it's active. In other words, no one can enter the doctor's lab. There couldn't be an intruder.
Behold! Prove you're wrong.
When the body was first discovered, Amapal was about to enter the doctor's lab. But something bumped into it and knocked it over. In fact, there was a mark on Amapal's head, like someone kicked it.
Or used as a
That
sex
mark
sword.
wasn't there when we borrowed it. It's proof that someone else was in the lab.
You call that evidence?
Yes.
Bullshit, the only thing that comes out of that mouth? Don't make me laugh.
Oh, wait, hang on. That's not what I need.
Shit.
You be quiet.
was
Alright,
an
I can't do that.
intruder.
I cannot
That's
look at things. That
impossible.
took me too long.
And in fact, you proved that yourself.
How did I prove this?
Damn.
Alright, I probably should have been paying attention at the very start. Also, hi, Apex. Or raincoat this time. I just distracted myself and forgot what I was about to do. Let me just change my camera a little bit. There we go. Figured I'd do that now. And just skip through it. I'll get to that next time.
Don't make me laugh. Shit. There was an intruder.
We need to repel
That's
something.
impossible.
Ooh, that's not a duck.
And in fact, you proved that yourself.
How? How did I prove that myself?
That cling doesn't hold up.
Prove to me, did I prove that to you?
What do you mean? We proved there wasn't an intruder.
You still don't understand? Don't make me laugh.
Alright, lab mat and airlock. Shush for a second. Floor plan of the lab. This is supposed to be a top secret file that was found. And the device exists for leakage. Alright, gonna stick with lab mat for now.
There was another intruder. And where did they go? By the time you arrived at the scene, there was no one else, right? There's no place to hide in the critical lab. There's no way they got past it.
Alright, I think I know
Or
what
are
it
you
is.
saying they slipped away and you missed it?
Hang on, let me just...
That's
Alright, so it's
obviously
airlock.
impossible.
Stuck.
Isn't that funny? You just proved you committed the crime.
Alright, so...
Right.
I don't remember what the Q is, but I know what I'm doing. It's true, we didn't see anyone on the way out after disabling the security.
What is that?
How could the culprit have hidden from us? For now, let's check the solution keys. We might find a useful clue. Alright, so
If
we
there
know which one
was
it
another
is.
intruder, then where did they go?
They went in the air vents.
By the time you arrived at the scene, there was no one else, right? There's no place to hide in the critical lab.
Ah, I missed. I think that
There's
was
no
the right
way
one.
they got past it. Or are you saying they slipped away and you missed it? That's
Alright, so it's
obviously
that-
impossible.
It's the one about
Isn't that funny?
not having
You
anywhere
just
to
proved
hide.
you committed the crime.
Right.
What is that?
For that.
If there was another intruder,
Jump.
then where did they go?
I need to focus and not dodge it this
By
time.
the time you arrived at the scene,
I keep hitting that same
there
one.
was no one else, right?
That's not the right one. Chat, pretend this didn't happen. Nothing's happening. We're just chilling. Nothing's happened.
If there was
This is first
another
try.
intruder, then where did they go? By the time you arrived at the scene, there was no one else, right?
Definitely that.
There's no place to hide in the critical.
That one. Okay. Nailed it. First try.
Mystery. There's a hiding spot. It's inside the airlock's decontamination device.
I didn't miss
The
that
vent
5
cover can be
times.
easily removed, and there's just enough space for someone to fit inside. If they hid inside the decontamination device, we wouldn't have seen them when we arrived at the scene.
So what? You've got it all wrong anyway.
I love the music in this game.
Everything is wrong. Your existence is all wrong.
That sword of yours
Have fun
looks
chasing
wrong.
that fake truth you found.
I know it's like a very specific kind of weapon. I don't remember what it's called. But I feel like I need to censor it, honestly. Or I need to have my editor censor it.
We managed to defeat him this time, but it's not over yet.
He sure is persistent, huh?
Anyway, there's no doubt someone else was inside the doctor's lab. So let's unravel each mystery one at a time.
All right, we'll get it this time.
I am winning. I didn't mess up at all.
Come on, why does it have to be so sudden?
Okay, now that we've wedged our way into this mystery, we just gotta head through the labyrinth and reach the truth!
Vivia's just, like, watching us get decapitated, like... I wish that was me. He has the I threw up pose.
Right here!
We're just now getting to the point. What a pain.
Hey, don't sigh, this is a good thing!
Sorry.
Anyway, let's head inside.
There was an intruder for sure! We know someone bumped into Amapal.
The culprit probably hit Amapel on their way out.
Or stepped on him.
After that, they must have intended to leave the lab. But they couldn't because we were in the front chamber. So they hid inside the decontamination device to avoid us.
So, if you checked inside the decontamination device on the way to the scene, you would have caught the culprit then and there.
Yeah, but it was an emergency and we had no idea they were in there.
It's super lame to make up excuses, Master!
It's not an excuse.
But it is true. If I had thought about why Amapal was knocked over at that time, I would have realized the culprit was in there. We could have waited in ambush or searched for them. And if I'd caught the culprit then, Chief Yako wouldn't have gotten stabbed.
Master, wallowing in regret is even lamer. If you have time for that, you have time to keep going.
Right.
Honestly, Vivia's my favorite character too. Him and Makoto. Silly guy. He's still a little guy. He came down like Mary Poppins. It was great.
Really? Another fork in the path.
Seems like we're finally at the central question. This is the first step to solving how the culprit committed an impossible murder.
Why do I feel he never
I
entered in the
leave
first
the
place?
rest to you. I'm going to read a book or something.
You had a book with you?
You can bring your own stuff into the mystery labyrinth?
He's just special.
Nothing has changed.
There aren't any new doors. What? There's nowhere to go? What was the point of eliminating all the other paths?
Come on.
Don't start with that again. How about you help us for a change? You better cooperate, unless you want to get chopped up by Master Solution Blade.
I'm not killing him.
Oh, hold on, Shinigami.
I don't want to get chopped up. I dislike pain. Immensely. But you know, the journey up to now wasn't a waste. We did eliminate many possibilities.
But that means nothing if we can't reach the truth.
Nothing? Why do you want the truth in the first place?
Huh?
It's easy to say you want the truth. But are you sure you can handle it? No matter how cruel the truth may be.
Who
Can I
hurt you?
handle it?
Wait, I already know your dad.
I'm still not sure if you're the kind of person who can. I bet you're not sure either. That's why you're still so hesitant. This mystery labyrinth also reflects your reluctance. Maybe that's why you can't reach the truth.
What are you talking about? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I won't hesitate to expose the truth.
So you still haven't realized it? Guess you're not quite there yet. Well, that's fine for now. But eventually, you'll be forced to make a choice. When that happens, you'll have to prove your conviction and expose the truth, like you said.
Enough nonsense. Let's find some clues.
As an apology for the distraction, let me tell you something. This labyrinth appears to change shape by reflecting our investigation.
And we did investigate in Ghost Form.
So, instead of following the revealed path, isn't it possible to carve your own path?
Carve my own path? That's right, Shinigami! We can create new routes with our own deductions. Maybe we can do it here.
Sometimes, just a slight change in perspective is enough to completely change how you see things.
So if I change my perspective here, I might see something new. I see. I was so focused on how to overcome the security system. But that's not right. I need to change my perspective and think about who could have overcome it.
Don't box yourself in with your own assumptions.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
I hate when the anemic vampire tells us what to do. But if Master wants to, then fine. I'll lend you my power. Lay it all out, Master.
I don't know how I feel about the Ghost Form. I don't like not being able to just walk straight through doors and stuff. Like, we can walk through them. We just have to do a whole little animation every time. Alright, what's our question?
Try to solve it.
Who is capable of overcoming the security system? I'm trying to... Oh, I know what it is, but I cannot think of the word. It's not amalgamation.
You can do it, Master.
What is it called? It's the monster things.
Great.
Oh, Amapal.
Great.
That took way longer than it should have. Alright, so we need... it. And I need that to reload faster. Amapal.
Go.
Weren't all the Amapals broken? I was trying to figure out why there was like an A with a dash. Like what? Like it felt important, but I could not think of what would be connected to it.
A new route appeared.
Such a surprise.
Perhaps I said too much. Well, nothing has been solved yet.
I wish you'd express yourself a little better. How can we tell if you're happy or sad?
I've never been happy or sad in my entire life. I want to die someday.
I know he was somewhere other than Kanai Ward
Anyway,
before this.
let's explore this new route.
Are therapists just not a thing? Hell, are there no ghost therapists?
When you think about who could get past security, the only option we know of is Amapau.
True. And that's how we were able to get through security ourselves.
But it's just a toy robot, right? How's it
Therapist
related to the
video.
case?
I don't know yet, but since Amapel can get through security, it must be important.
Vivia's therapy is talking to his own body while in the spectral projection form and reading books that are very similar to what's going on in his life.
It's sealed off here, too.
Hey, there's an intercom. Maybe someone will respond if you use it.
No way.
That's what you draw the line at?
Huh? Doctor?
Huh? Wait. What the? Wait. Who are you? Help! Somebody come help me!
Isn't this the footage of when the doctor was attacked?
Yeah, you're right.
The mystery materialized. It must be related to what the doctor just said.
Alright. Who are you was directed at who?
So the question
Wilbert,
is,
no one, Amapau.
who did the doctor say? Who are you to?
They just left a couch there for him.
I'll leave it to you.
I don't get how you can keep reading at a time like this.
This is not our mystery labyrinth. This is Vivia's. They've left the couches there and everything. Nobody. Oh, yep, hallucination. You know, stabbing himself in the back a couple times is starting to sound less and less absurd.
The trap didn't activate. Does that mean we found the right answer? Huh? So the right answer is no one? Why would the doctor say, "Who are you?" if no one was there?
He looked in the mirror.
The security was still
For the
active
first
at
time
the
in 3
time,
months.
so no one could enter the doctor's lab, right? And that was before I borrowed Amapel. So the only explanation is that no one was there.
Why would he say that if no one was there?
I think if we go there, we'll find the answer.
What? That route's obviously just a side road. Who cares what the old geezer was thinking anyway?
But it looks like this is the only way we can go. Besides, I am curious about what was going through his mind.
I mean,
It could be an important factor in solving the mystery behind this case.
Still, being forced to take a side route is too much trouble. Makes me wish I was dead.
Shinigami has been trying to arrange that for you. I have not been, though. Also, what
So,
are the physics
Master,
of
do
arcade?
you have an idea about what the geezer was thinking?
Not yet, but I think it has to do with why he said, "Who are you?" I think the doctor was putting on an act.
An act? Really?
It could have been a shapeshifter,
The
honestly.
doctor put on an act for a reason, but I have no idea why. We have to figure that out by going down this doctor's motive route.
You know, like if we have some kind of shapeshifter situation, like, Desihiko? Could have went through the vents as some kind of small creature,
He's here
got in
too.
there, killed the doctor,
You rats keep
and then
scurrying
kind
around.
of talked
Do
to
you
us
really
as
think
the
you'll
doctor.
discover Dr. Weska's motive this way? Good luck with that, morons! He had no motive at all!
Well, you said there's nothing here. Let's head back.
We can't do that! If he's trying to block our path, then this route must be important.
Nah, fine.
I'm only here because you maggots piss me off. So, I'm gonna end you here and now!
I honestly really do like his design. Here we got photo and doctor's email records.
This was all part
We're gonna switch over to here.
of the doctor's plan. He didn't have a plan at all. That exchange on the intercom wasn't an act.
It was
There was no
paranoia.
reason to put on a show. The doctor misunderstood. You probably don't know this. Weska put his soul into his work. The research was going well. The doctor was loyal to Amaterasu.
Nope,
This is the truth!
he was not. He did not care about you guys anymore.
No, the doctor was planning on betraying Amaterasu Corporation. He was trying to escape Kanai Ward. He said so in the messages he wrote.
You little...
Yomi's rebuttal? What was that? What was he trying to deny? Why was he covering up the doctor's motives?
It
Insanity?
seems that this case involves the inner workings of Amaterasu.
Right. The doctor was going to betray Amaterasu. And whoever he was emailing knew that. So the doctor locked himself in the lab to protect himself from that person.
Perhaps the doctor's act had something to do with that.
It might not have actually been an act. He might have just been hallucinating. Welp, we're dead.
It's the security gate. Everything's locked up.
Has the doctor planned to escape?
Which means this is a complex problem. We have to choose the right door and insert the correct solution key.
Is that first answer
This
terrorist
is way
bombing?
more hassle than before.
Swapping
Guess I'll
places,
leave it
alright.
to you, Yuma.
As always.
I'm betting swapping places. He was already gone. Damn, stab in the back, notes. Acid, skin notes. Good water. Floor plans. Might actually have to read stuff, okay? Trees. Gas change off, power maintenance. Maybe something like this? I don't think that's right though. It is right.
Oh, the door actually opened. I knew I could let Yuma handle it.
Are you
You just
sure
didn't
you
want to
aren't a
do
phantom?
anything. Honestly, the music is great. The designs and everything for honestly everything is so good.
So the doctor tried to swap places with someone else to escape from Amaterasu. The notes he left behind in the lab hinted at his plan.
You mean the diagram with the sulfuric acid being poured on someone?
Yeah, he was going to swap places with a corpse, then melt it with acid. He wanted to disfigure it beyond recognition. That's how he planned to fake his own death.
At the very least, did it buy him enough time to escape Kanai Ward? Or so he thought.
Wow! Melting a corpse with sulfuric acid? Yay! So cool and grotesque! So who was the substitute supposed to be?
Maybe the Hitman.
He thought he was
The
going to be stronger
doctor
than the
was under
Hitman.
surveillance by Amaterasu, but he was still looking for a chance to escape. When he learned a Hitman was after him, he figured his chance had arrived. The doctor was hoping to use the security system to kill the Hitman and use the body as a decoy.
So he called the
Now that I
Hitman on
think
himself.
about it, the doctor did seem to be waiting for the hitman to arrive.
The hitman hasn't arrived yet. When will he show up? Don't tell me this so-called first-rate hitman was captured by peacekeepers.
But the Hitman never did show up. That's why the doctor had a sudden change of plans.
And that was the act he put on by asking you, "Who are you?"
Perhaps that was a trap to lure you in, Yuma.
We're too small to be a
He was
replacement.
trying to lure Master?
We're a bit too short.
They considered taking advantage of the detectives, since the Hitman never showed up. So if he called for help, he would charge into the lab, not knowing anything about the security system. And thereby, acquire the corpse he needed as his decoy.
Yeah, we're definitely too short
That
for
seems
that.
overly complicated. Like those guys who overthink asking girls out?
Honestly, I would want just like bits and pieces of everyone's
Well,
outfits.
he couldn't have used another researcher. Someone would have noticed their absence. He needed visitors. People from outside to pull it off.
I mean, it's not a character for him, but in that case, why wouldn't he take Makoto? He kept trying to go in.
So if I didn't know about the security and had rushed into the lab,
You'd be a super sexy skeleton right now. Aw, so close.
you want that?
But the doctor's plan failed, and he actually got boom killed by the hitman. I get what he was trying to do, but what about the impossible murder?
Assuming the attack on the doctor was just an act when we saw him through the intercom, we at least know for sure the real attack hadn't happened yet.
In other words, the culprit entered the lab after that exchange. So the problem is, when did they actually enter?
Oh, this is fun.
Where are we?
This place is a real mystery. Then again, I suppose that checks out.
Huh? Shinigami?
Yeah! Master, this looks like an important turning point! So, is that your final answer?
This is so
I
cute.
haven't said anything yet.
The culprit entered the lab before Amapal. Correct.
Master, you need to narrow down the timing for when the culprit got inside. Now then, here's a fateful fork in the road. It's life or death! We're at the crossroads of mystery and solution. This earth-shattering choice may be your last. Now, Master, which one will you choose?
I mean, unless it was suicide. I love the little, like, paper doll kind of thing. I mean, now we really can't move his shoulder, so...
When I directed Amapal to go into the doctor's lab, he already had a knife stuck in him. Which means he was murdered before Amapal entered the doctor's lab.
Your answer?
Drum roll.
Is correct! Congratulations, Master! Would you like to double down?
These are all
What are
so
you
cute.
talking
The little,
about?
like, sprites
Anyway,
and everything.
let's keep going.
I feel like those were, like, beta design sprites and stuff. That, like, were,
Little
like,
by
starter
little,
ones that they
we're narrowing down
edited
when the
to
culprit
work into
entered.
this.
Yeah, but we still don't know how yet. It had to be between when we spoke to the doctor over the intercom and when Amapal entered his lab. During that time, the culprit entered the doctor's lab and murdered him.
So the most likely time would be when you went to borrow Amapal, Master. The culprit had to have entered the lab then.
But Fubuki waited at the front chamber while Desuhiko and I went to borrow Amapal. She said no one entered or left the lab.
I mean, we left Fubuki to kind of check everything. I wouldn't be surprised if someone managed to get past her. Like, no offense to Fubuki, but I feel like someone would walk past her and she wouldn't even realize it. Like, she'd be distracted by something and just not notice.
Huh? We're back on the original path.
Maybe you're supposed to try opening that door now.
I'm sure that from here on out, it's not just about when, but also how the culprit got in. Yuma, there's no need to push yourself if things get too hard.
No, I can do it. I'm going to solve it.
Fubuki's the one that can rewind time.
This is a map of the critical lab.
So we have to determine where the culprit was before the murder.
We'll have to solve them one at a time. Let's start with this mystery.
If we know where the culprit was before they got in, this route will be clear too.
I bet they were above the
Do
lab.
you know where, Yuma?
They were like in the side of it or something and just kind of followed behind us, didn't they?
Here.
Chat, we're gonna pretend I didn't just
Culprit
click every answer.
Must have been here.
I feel like I overthink all of these. And I just,
After the exchange on the intercom, given there was always a detective at the front chamber, when we went to borrow Amapal, the culprit had to have already made their way inside. But the airlock is the only location that isn't affected by the security system. There. The culprit had to be inside that decontamination device before committing the crime.
okay, but how did we not see him? It's a very narrow area.
But I thought he was just hiding in there to avoid being spotted after the crime.
Like, if we can get into
So
the
you think the culprit was in
vents
there
and
before the
everything,
crime too?
like, we have more
Yeah,
things to solve
The
in that
culprit
case.
was waiting for their chance. But we had no idea when we sent Amapal into the airlock.
And from there, Yuma, you guided Amapal to the doctor's lab. So the culprit entered the doctor's lab before them? How would that be possible? only Amapao could get past security, right?
Yeah, that's the next big question.
Maybe the culprit used another Amapao unit.
No. The researcher mentioned there was only one functioning Amapao.
Which means the Amapao Yuma controlled was the only one that could get past security.
Or the scientist helped
So
the killer
culprit
get in
must
and
have
then lied
taken
to us.
advantage of Master's Amapao to get into the doctor's lab.
Yeah, that's the only way. But how did they use it? There's no solving the doctor's murder until we figure that out.
Well, I have an idea. Will you hear me out?
I mean, as
What is
long
it?
as the killer stood like right behind
How
us.
about giving up? I'm getting tired.
Nope, motion denied.
Alright. Took a bit to get to there.
Another fork in the road? Such a complicated mystery labyrinth.
I mean, I hope so. It's chapter 5? 4? 4 or 5? It's 4.
Beyond each problem lies the truth. We're definitely getting closer to the heart of this mystery.
Yeah. He has a weapon as a shield. I mean, in that case, we don't mean shield as in a visual thing. Or like a visual shield. It would be neither.
Do you think neither is really the right answer?
Well,
Given
it's
the
not
process of
weapon.
elimination, that must be it. Amapal's hands aren't designed to hold anything, so it couldn't use the knife to murder the doctor. Which means Amapal wasn't the murder weapon. And the culprit couldn't have used it as a shield. It can't neutralize the toxic gas, and the high voltage shock would destroy it.
So then, how did the culprit use Amapao?
I think we'll find out if we continue down this path.
Or we'll find out by falling down the path.
Answer? Come on, Master!
No, but like, every answer, it depends on how you would define a word.
Huh? We're...
We've been here before. It looks like we've been brought back.
But the door we opened earlier is closed again. Why's that?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Is it going to be the same question? Where is the culprit before the crime?
Huh? Even the question is the same. Does that mean we gotta do it all over again?
Well, the logic is still sound. There's no other hiding spot for the culprit besides the airlock.
So you want to choose the same answer and keep going?
That's
If you
called
do,
insanity.
You'll just repeat the whole process again.
I.e., insanity.
We'll just be brought back here if we can't figure out how did the culprit use Amapao. And I refuse to walk any more than I have to.
Look the way he's sitting.
What should I do?
Stand up! Stand up right now!
Stop it. Leave me alone.
If you want me to leave you alone, then help my useless master out!
Fine. Just one thing then. We're back at where was the culprit before the crime? Because you're stuck at how did the culprit use Amapao? With that in mind, these two questions are connected.
It could have been an escape route.
Connected? Both the culprit's location and how Amapao was used?
Help him out more! More!
The culprit was hiding in the airlock, where you also left the robot, right? At that moment, only the culprit and Amapao were there. So maybe the culprit did something.
The culprit did something to Amapao?
Clues are always there, right under your nose. It's a detective's job to notice them. Did you notice anything strange back then? Any tiny detail? Try to remember.
Something strange.
In their
Hey,
neighborhood.
now that you mention it, back then... Oh, hey, the screen lit up. So this is what Amapao sees. It's like the cockpit of a mecha.
I mean, it's at 75%.
Whoa, what was that? Did it break already? I thought it was state of the art. No, it's all right. It's stabilized. There was a moment when the camera stopped functioning while I was controlling Amapao.
Did the killer punch it or
It returned to
something?
normal pretty quick, but maybe...
See? I told you it was right under your nose.
Vivian, get
You
off the
don't
floor.
need any additional help from me,
I
right?
haven't even seen a book.
that was a clue to help solve this mystery?
Actually, everything in this world is a key to solving mysteries. You just haven't noticed them. Perhaps there is more you're overlooking. Was there anything else unusual?
Something unusual. Something I missed.
Anything else? It's not like Amapao's camera showed the culprit.
Wait, that's it!
Huh?
Now that I think about it, wasn't that strange? The
No.
culprit must have gotten ahead of Amapao, but why didn't they ever show up on the camera? If the culprit went past Amapao to enter the doctor's lab, they would have been spotted for sure.
Now that you mention it,
But nobody showed up on camera. How did the culprit manage to pull that off?
Wow, it's like
How
he
can you move
hid
from the airlock
behind
to the
the
doctor's lab
robot,
without appearing even
And
once
then-
on Amapao's camera?
knocked over the robot
aren't
to
you
escape
just adding another mystery?
after entering the
No.
room while the door
All
was
the
opening
pieces
forever.
are here.
Huh?
Yuma, the mysteries you face now can be solved with a single answer.
A single answer?
Sheesh. I talk too much.
I had the cameras.
Oh, one mystery after another! What do we do now? It's a Pandora's box of mysteries!
Let's stay calm and think about it. There's plenty of time.
Or not. I'll keep reading while you wrap things up.
Remember what he said, Master. All it takes is one answer to solve these mysteries. Use those weak brain cells of yours and think!
Rude but
This
accurate.
location. Amapao's usage.
He stood behind
Its
it
malfunction. Why didn't the culprit appear on camera?
because he was behind
This can be
Amapao.
solved with just one answer?
Are we about to have the Shinigami thing? Inside, behind, above. Ah, I forgot that is, I can't, I need to press the right button. I can't just, like, click up. Where's the culprit? Was behind Amapao. Oh, don't tell me the culprit was inside Amapao. Alright, where are our options? Inside, behind, and on top of. I don't know, on top of? As transportation. Okay, there's culprit jumped on it. X, I guess? Why didn't the culprit appear on camera? They were on top of its head.
I got it! The culprit rode on Amapel's head, using it as a method of transportation.
I mean,
Door open!
With every
it's
open
kind
door,
of risky.
it will be harder for you to turn back. Are you sure you want to keep going?
Also, why is our face
Absolutely.
like that?
I will find the truth no matter what.
That's
This is for the
such a weird
Nocturnal
angle for
Detective
something
Agency.
that's like perpendicular to us.
Hey, you said the culprit rode on top of Amapal.
Why can't we ride on top of Amapal instead of walking?
Literally what I said. The culprit rode Amapel and used it to get through. After we left Amapel in the airlock, the culprit came out of the decontamination device. Then they jumped on Amapel's head. The disruption in the footage was from the impact.
That's insane.
Is it? I think it's fairly reasonable. Amapal can withstand up to 100 kilograms of weight. So, someone riding on it shouldn't affect its functionality.
The shoe print on Amapel's head wasn't caused by someone kicking it. It was left there from the culprit hopping on and off.
After
Why
that,
only one though?
the
Well, I
culprit
mean, if they're
simply
in kneeling
rode on
position.
it as it moved toward the doctor's lab. By doing so, the culprit was able to evade the camera and remain hidden as they made their way through the lab.
You're right. If it's true, it does solve all of the previous mysteries.
I had to kind of hope that we knew the right password.
Riding on a robot makes me laugh.
But Yuma, have you not realized it?
That wouldn't really work with the
You're
poison.
still missing something. One major mystery remains.
We're going through the poison room
That's
with
what
them
I
on top of us.
inside.
We're still in the poison
The
room with
greatest
them on top
mystery
of
of
us.
this case should appear soon. Just the thought of it gets me feeling down.
This case's greatest mystery?
Is our killer already dead?
This is the panel chamber.
That means the doctor's lab is just beyond it. If we can get through here, we'll reach the goal, yeah?
Are we sure they didn't get off, like, here? When did the culprit get off on Foul? They got off here and then they went around and went into the door.
Is
And then
this
just, like,
the greatest mystery you mentioned?
used Amapal as a step stool and knocked him over.
Not exactly what I was envisioning.
Well, this is the mystery to be solved, so let's clear it out.
Beats me.
Oh, I actually have to read this. When would it have been possible for them to get into the room ahead of us? While opening the door. Alright. I like the little animation moves.
The culprit murdered the doctor before Amapel entered the room. Which means the culprit had to have gotten ahead of Amapel at some point. It was when the door first opened. At that moment, the culprit snuck into the doctor's room.
Yeah, when the doors were slowly opening, just like this. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Are you kidding me?
Right. The moment there was enough space for a person to slip through, the culprit hopped off and went inside.
There is no way the culprit jumped over the door to get in. Raincoat might be one of the first games I've actually wanted the, like, statues or something for it.
So Amapal couldn't move while the door was opening. That's when the culprit took their chance.
Since the door opens outward, It's possible to take advantage of the blind spot it creates. That's how the culprit managed to stay outside the camera's view as they entered the doctor's room.
So it's an elaborate murder that took advantage of Amapau's design, and even the direction the door opens. Whoever planned this must have really wanted the doctor dead.
I mean,
I guess you can
they
call
sent
it
a
an
killer.
obsession. How scary. Just like this passageway. Where will it take us? Perhaps a suite of the culprit's obsession on full display. A room of nightmares.
Knock it off with the weird soliloquies. Let's go.
You're really going?
Yes, that's kind of the point. We just dealt with you. Go home.
With this thing!
Are you just bored?
Hey,
Like, we know you have no friends.
when the culprit
You
entered
turned
the
your
doctor's
girlfriend into the
room
cube.
while the door was open,
Huh? Yeah?
at the time, the doctor was in the room, right? If the door opened and an intruder entered, how could the doctor not have noticed?
So what if he did notice? It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is. If he had noticed an intruder, the doctor would have turned to face him. Which means he wouldn't have been stabbed in the back.
I mean,
That
there was
piece
a
of
pool
trash
of
is
blood
right.
under him.
Your logic is flawed.
Hey, what are you, on the Phantom side now?
Listen to my incredible words of wisdom. Your crappy deduction is worth less than shit! Everything you do is a fucking mistake!
I don't know how I feel about all the eyes. Like, they're cool, but like... Gotta check this out. The moment I go for water.
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By
But
your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind. That's all impossible!
Master!
gotta find a contradiction.
Damn it! Your deduction is inconsistent. It's full of inconsistencies. By your logic, even if the doctor could be stabbed, it wouldn't be from behind.
That claim doesn't hold up!
I mean,
No.
no matter what, you can
Culprit
stab
did
someone in the
stab
back.
the doctor in the back. That's how the body was discovered.
That's why I'm saying your deduction is inconsistent. By your logic, the doctor couldn't have been murdered in that way! The culprit.
Quiet for a second. Notebook found in this. Doctor had hearing issues. There we go.
Quickly entered the lab. But the doctor was in the room at the time, right? There's no way you missed an intruder. Running is noisy. So Wesker would have heard and turned to face the culprit. And his chest would have been stabbed, not his back. Unless you think the doctor was asleep. Is there any trace of him being drugged?
I know the answer.
Even
I just
if he
need to
didn't
wait
look
for
back
it.
from his desk.
Really?
He would have heard someone coming!
Oh, there it is. It's not the other one, it's this one. Guess it's a good thing we missed.
Wait, the doctor had trouble hearing. That's why he didn't notice the intruder.
Now you're spouting nonsense. Say whatever you want, it won't save you. There's a gaping hole in your logic. And there's no way you're gonna fill it at this rate. Because you, more than anyone else, you're the one refusing to see the truth right before your eyes.
What? I refuse to see the truth? Vivia said the same thing, but...
It's
Vivia, are you a
strange,
phantom?
don't you think?
No.
Isn't it about time you noticed that something's off here?
Huh?
A lot of
We've
things could be
solved
off.
many
Which one are we
mysteries up to
talking about?
now. Yet none of them are directly connected to the culprit's identity.
That's because the culprit is the hitman.
If that's the case, why haven't you reaped the hitman's soul? And that would end the labyrinth.
It's not that easy. The culprit will fight back, unless we solve all the mysteries first. Hang on. What are you getting at?
In my eyes, the reason a single mystery hasn't been directly connected to the culprit
It's because
is
there's no
because of
culprit?
Yuma's reluctance. It's pushing away the mysteries that lead to the culprit.
We don't want to deal with Yako's side of it.
Subconsciously, you're closing your eyes to the truth. That's why you haven't touched on the hole in your reasoning.
What hole?
Whatever, that's enough. Just ignore this guy and keep going.
Ooh, Shinigami knows something. And Vivia just already knows everything. Vivia's fully self-aware.
Yuma. Yuma.
Jeez, go away!
You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The huge hole in this investigation?
What are you...
Just ignore him.
Let's review your deduction, shall we? The
We're gonna be
culprit
walking
took
for a
advantage of
while.
Amapau's locked position and entered the lab. And before the robot entered the room, that person stabbed the doctor from behind. However, they bumped into Amapau while escaping, causing it to fall over.
Or used as a step
That was
ladder.
obviously a mistake,
Step stool.
but since it wasn't captured on video, they were able to avoid detection. After that, the culprit went inside the decontamination device in the airlock to hide from you.
That's correct. So what's the hole in my deduction?
The Peacekeepers?
It's before all of that. It remains the case's greatest mystery.
Who called the hitman?
Which is?
What are we talking about?
How did the culprit get past security?
What?
We already told you that. The
No, like
culprit
the
rode
other
on
security.
top of Amapau as Master controlled it and was taken all the way to the doctor's lab.
Someone brought him in.
But
Or someone's already
if
there.
someone was riding on it, how did they get past the high voltage shocks in the panel chamber?
Ubiki.
Oh.
This is the end for you! You have nowhere left to go!
Oh, come on! Why now?
I won't let you maggots ruin the peace of Kanai Ward! As the king of Amaterasu Corporation and the guardian of Kanai Ward, I will stop you here and now!
Perhaps this, too, is an obsession. Why does he insist on covering up the truth? Tell me, what will you do, Yuma? Are you going to stay willfully blind?
No, I'll fight. Whether it's subconscious or not, I won't look away from the truth. I'll find the truth no matter what. This is for the Chief and everyone at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Good luck. You'll never find it. You'll scurry around this labyrinth forever, like blind mice. You'll rot away in it, looking for an answer that will never come!
Honestly, when he was saying how do you get past security, I didn't think he was talking about that. I figured he meant like how did he even get into the building in the first place, which means someone that actually is in that building has to have already been like bringing him in. So Yami most likely called the guy, brought him in there, or he's someone that works there. What do we? Oh, it's Fubuki's forte. That's alright.
Playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery! How did the culprit get past the security? The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it! Don't tell me the culprit is a robot!
Even the robot wouldn't be able to handle it. Alright. Cobra breaks the panel chamber.
But that's right.
We had help.
Keep playing with your shit deductions. You still haven't solved the greatest mystery! How did the culprit get past the security?
Ah!
The critical lab security system was always live. There was no way to reach the doctor. The panel chamber shocks would have fried the culprit. That security system? No living human can breach it.
Is this what we're talking? We are talking about.
Through this mystery.
I feel like we should be talking about how they even got in the building in the first place, because it's biometric.
A human could get past the panel chamber by using Fubuki's forte. In fact, that's how we got past the panels. The high voltage shocks kept destroying Amapel. But we reversed time every time that happened.
Correct. So whenever it was struck by the current, it went back in time. But while that was occurring, the culprit, a human, was riding on top of Amapel. That person was burnt to a crisp every time you failed.
But
Which means you killed the culprit over and over again.
We made some KFC.
yeah,
Kentucky Fried
If
Culprit.
only you had chosen to remain ignorant, I would have walked beside you in silence. But if you intend to seek the truth, then I must stand in your way.
Of course. Vivia's
What are you
becoming a
doing?
phantom.
Why
Wait, did we
are
get a
you
Vivia
doing this?
phantom design?
He's going to betray you, Master.
betray me?
He's already tried to kill us
It's up
once.
to you, Yuma. This is your final chance to save the world you believe in. What are you going to do? It's time to decide your past and your future.
Why, Vivia?
Is Vivia going to get a phantom design? Because I would like to see that. I don't know what it would be, but I would like to see whatever Vivia's phantom design is. Oh, he just has a... he just has a giant box cutter.
Let me ask you.
Just like this. Yes, that wound. Eyewitness. Let's go with the eyewitness, I guess.
How did the culprit bypass the toxic gas chamber?
Alright, it's not.
impossible to avoid the gas. The culprit would surely die.
Alright, so it's most likely not that bad. Alright, so maybe the culprit's dead now?
Already know this, right? The gas is a special trait. The gas can see through even a gas mask. No ability can nullify its toxicity. Once it hits you, you're done for. You die before reaching Weska.
No, 30 minutes.
No one can get past it.
This is the truth.
Look, I'm sorry, Vivia, but you've tried to kill us at least twice now. Probably more. You've probably went into the submarine holding a box cutter, just standing over us.
If you pass through the toxic gas, you'll die. But you'll have 30 minutes before it kills you. Which means you could survive for 30 minutes.
What? Don't tell me.
Culprit's probably about to
There are
die.
no gas masks here that can block this toxic gas. And no fortes that can nullify it. There's only one way you could get through it. You do nothing. You endure it in hopes of Amapel taking you to the next room.
Then the culprit didn't do anything to counteract it and just passed through the toxic gas?
It's the only explanation that makes sense. This is the truth. I can't believe it.
We should be able to bypass this case if we just sit there for 30
really
minutes.
did just endure the toxic gas.
Then they...
Probably already dead.
Culprit. The culprit. This.
It appears you finally glimpsed the truth. Well, how does it feel to have your world shatter before your eyes? Isn't this what you wanted?
Huh? What's he talking about?
Yomi's mystery phantom and Fifia are both right. Subconsciously, I didn't want to know the truth.
Huh?
Up until now, the Mystery Labyrinth was withholding the mysteries that led to the culprit. And that's because it's a reflection of my own reluctance.
Master, what's wrong? Do you know who the culprit is? It's the hitman, right?
I mean,
The truth is worthless.
why do I feel he's about to try and kill?
Nothing has less value in this
Vivia.
isolated, rainy city.
Like
No
Vivia just
one
helped him and
wants
he's about to
the truth.
smash him into the ground.
Not even you! Now, rot away and die right here! No one will get in my way! Kanai Lord, Amaterasu! They both belong to me!
Hey Vivia, are you still against us, or did you come back to our side after hearing that? Because that was a pretty bold claim. You know, I feel like if we can kill you,
If the culprit carried out the crime like you deduced, then they should be dead from the toxic gas. But no one at the scene has died from poison.
well, they aren't at the scene.
If you can understand that much, then what are you still doing here?
You're right.
I didn't
that
even see
no
a
one in that
rappel.
lab died from that toxic gas. But that was part of the culprit's plan from the beginning.
They plan to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth?
We don't have a choice
Your
now.
world will fall apart. The world that you believed in.
Do you think Vivia was a previous holder?
Your deduction is wrong. Don't disturb the peace. It's not even worth debating. Is this the best you can do to refute it? Just give up and die!
The culprit has been prosecuted by using...
That's right.
Your deduction is wrong.
Okay, yeah, that was my bad.
Don't disturb the peace.
Oh shit, I have to go
It's
through
not
the
even
whole
worth
thing?
debating. Just give up and die!
Jump. Alright.
With this, I'll expose the truth.
I am not doing well this case.
The culprit misrepresented their death by using the Hitman. The culprit realized their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab died from toxic gas. So they used the Hitman to cover up their own death,
So Heisco? So it was suicide then.
meaning the Hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor.
Hired to assassinate
They were
Sam.
hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Huh? The Hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor? But the doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the Hitman?
All you would need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the Slaughter Artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
Nah, we'll leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back? It's the one that Fink the Slaughter Artist uses, right?
So the real
Heard about his knives
or the
inscribed with
real
the letter F.
person that was supposed to be targeted
It was all
was
a ruse? The real culprit
Yaffa.
made it look like the Hitman did it?
Stop. Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage! To hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Wesker was killed by the Hitman!
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
is it Yami?
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma.
Are we about to find out it was
It's time
Yako
for
or
you
something?
to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos of the real world.
This is being hyped up so much.
Knowing this, will you still expose the truth? Then, show me your conviction.
Why are we fighting you again?
The clues pointing to the identity of the Hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
Now, expose the truth. Do it if you want to burn the world down.
Alright, what was the clue leading to the true culprits?
The bloodstained photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman. That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case.
Was this supposed to be a
The
plot
blood
twist?
obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person. It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No. Stop! Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but... Good luck, Master. I'm always by your side, haunting you.
Yeah, haunting us. That's accurate wording. Really? We're not getting any sound effects for any of this? Will you stop making that noise? Can I really not look at clues? I want to look at the picture. I wasn't paying enough attention to see if it had like the... if it showed the eye. Alright, anyways. Oh, we get an actual animation. Why can't we kill you already?
Huh?
Yako.
Why is he mad at us? We didn't do anything. Also, we get to see Yako's phantom then.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
They've been
Chief
hinting
Yako
this from
was
like the
only
first
person
chapter.
attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the chief tried to conceal it. Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying Fuzzhead is the culprit? Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder? He's knocking on death's door just for this?
I don't want to believe it either, but there's no other way.
The Phantom vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter. But I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do. While the chief takes his final breaths.
Isn't he already dead?
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat?
Atonement. It wasn't sent by any of the other ones.
Why would the chief send it? If he was the killer.
As his own personal lure.
Answer me, Yuma.
Shit. I didn't have time to read that. I had to quickly hit the button.
By sending that note, everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab because of that note. Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too.
Mm-hmm.
What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all? Chief couldn't have
wait,
been
that's the
thinking
thing.
about that.
Alright, so it does change.
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives. The peacekeepers received it too. What was the point of that? Why put them on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
The note was sent to the peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene. The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility. They did it by disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around if you want to get into the lab disguised as one.
This is why the peacekeepers also received the death threat.
Okay, so whose face
Hey,
did
you still wanna do
Yasuhiko
this?
steal to get
It's
in?
not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do. I can't leave the chief like this.
Vivia.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as peacekeepers and entered the lab.
Yes, you were there.
You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the peacekeepers will see us. I knew it. This place is crawling with them.
What do we do?
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
Or what am I clicking?
No, that's not it!
Was that not a Y?
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
Was the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
So why? But I guess I just didn't have to press anything. Alright.
No, that's not it! The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
I wish I had a chance to read anything.
Was the blackout part of the plan. So the one who caused it, was that also the chief?
Alright, so I didn't press it in time.
The chief was with me in the security room at the time of the blackout. It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
But why?
It made us think the doctor was in danger, so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security so he could kill the doctor.
So, Master using Amapal and the Sheltered Skank's time rewinding ability at the panel chamber? That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
Alright, I get where the ship
I'm
came
counting
from
on
now.
you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their Fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used you all to get away with murder!
Yeah, his
Of
own
all
murder.
the criminals I've ever met, he's the worst coward of them all! Master, grab that coward and...
Enough!
Oh. Alright. This is
Why
happening.
did it have to come to this? Chief Yako saved me. He took me in. I had lost everything. Even my memories. Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times. But still, I really admired him. So, why? Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me! Or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead.
Plus, like, she's most likely dead, so...
Master, watch out!
That
The
explains why my
phantoms
brain couldn't
are a
process
reflection
the
of
picture.
the same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding. But that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it. The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face. He knew the truth would be exposed if that photo was found. So, he hid it behind the potted plant.
I mean, not
He
necessarily.
left his blood on it. Almost like he wrote a dying message. But in truth, it was actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
eliminate
The chief?
Are you really going to do this? After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die.
He's already basically dead.
But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking on death's door. Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
The chief took me in when I had no memories, or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart. Now, I have to end his life?
You know, I liked it, surprisingly. The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Vivia, you knew the truth behind this case from the very beginning.
I had a hunch.
Like you're back?
Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time. But I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Vivia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be. Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the chief's soul called out to us?
Huh?
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
And trust what?
You signed a pact with the Death God in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it, cruel as it may be. I want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I too want to live with my head held high. Because I too am a detective.
Vivia.
When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Alright, so which part are we doing?
Step right up, step right up! Peacekeepers, a CEO, a research doctor, a hitman, and master detectives! 2 dead bodies, but lots of shady characters! Truth bombs are about to be dropped! Time for the deduction denouement!
The victim in this case is one Dr. Weska. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab, with a totally overkill security system.
The culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that system.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the Detective Agency, and the Research Lab. At the same time, they contracted a real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the Peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the Master Detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all. The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
I was rescued by Tetsuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers. With the real peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber. Afterwards, we headed to the critical lab to check on the doctor's condition, just like the culprit directed us. But since that lab used a separate power supply, nothing strange had happened.
His whole "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master! What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom. We had to get into the doctor's lab.
At that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap! That bastard wanted to use your dead bodies! He really got you there, Master!
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Omapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
All aboard the Omapal Express! First stop, a shower of toxic gas! Humans can't protect themselves against the gas, but since it's not instantly fatal, it wasn't a problem. Next up, the panel chamber and high-voltage shocks! One wrong move, and it was insta-death. But thanks to that shock
we would get through this way. They also knew they would die over and over as a result. The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
No use crying over spilled blood. And on to the next thing.
Okay, we definitely didn't fail that many times.
Where were we? Oh yeah! To open the door to the doctor's lab, Amapal had to reach out its arm and hit a switch. And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck
I just realized
inside.
that's going down.
Amapal can't
I didn't
follow
miss
any
that.
new commands while its arm is extended, so the culprit didn't show up on the camera.
Then the culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife as the hitman. Grips was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Then, the murderer tried to leave the room before Amapal entered. They knocked the robot over on the way out.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent to wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman. And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with the toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose them as the doctor's killer. So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
I guess that means the killer completely trusted in the Master Detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know? Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Weska, and even included his own death in the plot. Jaco Furio! It was you!
Did I see a smile there? I was like, God damn, now I'm sad. Just took a minute for it to kick in.
I will expose the truth! But why? Chief Jaco, why? Why didn't you ever talk to us about this? Why did it have to end this way? Why didn't you tell us? Is this really what you wanted? Can you even hear me?
It doesn't matter who it is. Exterminating the real culprit's soul and destroying the mystery labyrinth. That's why I'm here.
Are we about to switch over to the cutesy little death thing?
Surging bloodlust. Overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Ruin to the vile mystery labyrinth.
Ha
God fucking damn it, stop trying to make me cry. Editor cut that.
Hey, hurry up! Execute these scumbags immediately. Criminals have no rights.
You will pay for this!
What's with that look? Are you seriously going to defy me?
With your height?
Well, I don't care. You're all going to die now.
This is real bad, Master. He's serious.
Temporary bullet immunity?
Director Yomi Hellsmile. We know all about your secret dealings with Dr. Weska.
What? Did you say something? Maybe I'll kill the loudest one of you first. If you have something to say, go ahead. I can't hear you. Come on, who wants to be the first to die?
Damn it!
Forget it. I guess I'll just kill both of you at the same time.
This guy isn't listening to a thing we say. If he was the real culprit, I'd both kill him.
Okay, so where's
Going
Hilara?
exactly how he wants. Solving the case didn't help anything.
Goodbye. Hope you enjoy the worst nightmare of your life as you die.
The only one who will be having nightmares is you.
Alright, it's Makoto.
You? I thought you went back to the surface. What are you doing here?
Well, Yomi, there's something I want you to see. What do you think of this?
Let's fucking go, Makoto.
How did you get that?
Most of the secret deals you've been making over the years are listed here. Looks like someone's been cooking the books. You conspired with Dr. Weska and leaked Amaterasu's technology to other national enterprises. And with the money you obtained, you bribed the right people to control this city.
Lies! You made that all up! Hey! I don't care if he is the CEO. Arrest this masked freak! We can't let this outsider barge in here and take control of this city! Capture him, execute him, chop his head off, crush his skull! What's wrong? Why are you just standing there? If you're scared, then I'll offer a bounty. Whoever kills him gets 100 million shin!
Can we just kill Yomi? Please?
Why won't you obey me? He's using false information to tear the Peacekeepers apart! You want that? You'll all be out of a job! Kanai Ward is better off without people like him! This city's fallen into ruin ever since he showed up! Now follow my orders! This city doesn't belong to him. It belongs to me, the great Yomi!
Aw.
I'm
Are
sorry.
you losing power?
Director
Oh,
Yomi.
she's not dead.
This city doesn't belong to anyone.
You... Martina, you're alive?
Actually, wait, we have
Makoto
Desuhiko
stopped
too.
the execution order you issued. I am here today thanks to him.
So it's either
Martina is
her
right.
or...
Kanai Ward belongs to everyone who lives here. It doesn't belong to you!
Shinigami?
Probably best to stay quiet and watch for now.
Fair enough.
So, you're on that freak's side now?
Why did she go back to your side?
You're a member of the Peacekeepers! I won't allow such insubordination!
Director Yomi, there's something I'd like to say to you. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to consult with a lawyer.
What?
Your reign is over, Yomi Hellsmile. Now, everyone, arrest the offending suspect. Please, do not be too rough. Even criminals have rights.
Damn it! Damn you! Mark my words, you masked bastard! Yomi Hellsmile will be back! And when I am, I'll kill you! I'll rip you to pieces for taking everything from me! You're all dead! I'll kill every last one of you!
As we discussed before, upon receiving his punishment, I hereby resign from my role in the Peacekeepers.
You don't have to.
I must. This is my way of taking responsibility as his accomplice.
Alright, so it's
Well,
actually her.
Chief Executive Makoto, I hope you will see to the rest.
Sorry for causing so much trouble. That should settle things for now.
What's going on?
While the Peacekeepers had their hands full with the lab incident, I snuck into Yomi's room and looked around. And there, I found this file. It's all thanks to you.
Don't tell me. You meant to bring us here to be a decoy from the start?
It was all just a series of coincidences.
Looks like I wasn't able to die once again. Well, at least things worked out.
That was really dangerous. I thought you were done for, Master.
Makoto showing up really saved us. Though it seems like he was using me and the others.
That pisses me off. Let's give him a piece of our minds.
Nah. Hi, bestie.
I'm sorry about what happened to Chief Yako. With Yomi gone, there's a change in the winds of Kanai Ward. Even through the endless downpour, I will rebuild this city from the ground up. Because I love this city more than anyone else.
I see.
By the way, how did your investigation at the secret lab go? Did you find what you were looking for? You know, the so-called immortal monster, the homunculus.
That's what it's called.
No, I didn't find anything.
Maybe homunculi are just rumors. But let me know if you'd still like help in your search.
Maybe there's something that's
If it's within
like,
my power, I'll permit you
same thing,
detectives to
different
search
wording.
anywhere in Kanai Ward.
Thanks.
Well, I need to get going. You should return to your friends. I'm sure they're worried about you.
Plus, you need to tell everyone what happened to Fuzzhead.
Oh, one more thing. I have a gift for you, my friend. To express my gratitude.
A gift?
I do.
Kanai Ward will be reborn, thanks to you.
I haven't done anything.
No, that's not true. Please, accept the gift. We're friends, aren't we? Oh, but don't open it yet. It's a bit of a surprise.
Sure. Okay.
See you later.
Look, he is back!
Are you alright? We saw a bunch of peacekeepers heading that way.
Well, how did the investigation go?
The case is closed.
Closed? Really?
I don't think they need to know.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Now the chief can rest without any regrets.
Rest? Wait. Do you mean the chief? Wait, you're joking, right?
He passed away quite a while ago. I was hoping he would live until Yuma and the others returned, but there was nothing we could do.
A while ago? And that means he was dead before the Mystery Labyrinth.
Well, yeah, you only got 30 minutes.
No, it can't be. Chief Yako, please, tell me you're only sleeping. I will turn back time now, so please, open your eyes!
Stop it. There's no need to keep pestering the chief.
But...
I wish I could do something too. He's dead. As a detective, you should understand that. Don't sob like a baby. I want to cry too, but...
Was he already dead? Or was it due to the Mystery Labyrinth? We'll never know.
I think I'll head home now. My business here is done.
So cold-hearted. As usual. He's like an emotionless robot.
Speaking of,
Cynthia,
what's Lara doing right now?
we should head back too. With the chief, of course.
Come on, let's see Hilara's face. Only person we didn't see the face of during that. The game's not gonna get me to cry now. Honestly, like, dropping the Yomi stuff right after. Yeah. Kinda broke the mood. Can't really cry after that.
Master, how long are you gonna let this get you down? I know you're shocked that Buzzhead was the culprit. But you and I solved it together, so shouldn't we be celebrating?
Solved it? Yes, we did learn the truth. But it didn't resolve anything. What's the point of solving something if it doesn't save anyone? In the end, we still don't know why the chief did it. How could you even consider it solved?
I understand why you're upset. Alright, I'll leave you alone for now.
Oh, look who's appeared.
Yuma? I thought you'd be here.
I don't want to talk to you right now. What do you want?
Kurumi.
I just promised I'd give him some alone time!
Are you sure you should be walking around alone at this hour?
I heard about Chief Yako. Hey, Yuma. Did we make a mistake?
Not really,
if we
honestly.
didn't try to find that secret lab, maybe Chief Yako would still be alive.
I don't know if what we did was right or wrong. But either way, I think it would have ended like this eventually.
I'm glad to see that you've returned safely.
Thank you.
To tell the truth, while you were at the lab, I looked into Chief Yako's past a bit.
Huh?
I was just curious. Do you remember that talk on the submarine?
To me, this town is my life. My bitter past, my fun memories, they're all right here. I just wanted to protect the happiness I found within arm's reach. But it wasn't easy. It was too much for me to handle on my own. And as a result, I lost everything. I was an empty shell until you all came along.
In short, the chief lost his wife 4 years ago.
Wife?
She was a researcher at Amaterasu's lab.
Yeah, that checks out.
The chief's wife was an Amaterasu researcher?
On top of that, His wife's death was declared an accident,
I bet it was Yomi.
but there seems to be more to the story. At the time, the lab's head researcher was suspected of leaking technological information. It was the chief's wife that blew the whistle. If what she said was true, he would have been removed. But on the day before the commission came to investigate, an experiment went wrong and exploded, killing her.
It's obvious that someone was trying to silence her.
Yeah. Chief Yako probably suspected that too. He was conducting his own investigation. In the end, I don't know what conclusion he reached.
So that's who the chief wanted to protect most. It's what he meant when he said he lost everything.
And the person his wife accused was... Weska.
Yep.
Dr. Weska.
Do you know who that is?
No, it doesn't ring a bell. It's getting late. Let's head back to the detective agency. The chief's final words. I think they were actually meant for himself.
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
But I think he was wrong. Because everyone is mourning you, Chief. Chief, I've made up my mind. No matter how cruel it may be, I will expose the truth hidden in this city.
Hey, did you come up with this dish yourself? I've never had anything so tasty.
What are you putting in
Thank
the
you.
food?
Cooking is all I'm really good at, after all.
Are you hungry? Can I make you something at the agency?
Well, I guess I haven't eaten in a while.
Have we eaten
What?
at all?
This Splatty is gonna mix
in
something
this?
dangerous into your food. I suggest you stay far away. All right. What should I make? I need to cheer you up.
This would have been the perfect chance to go talk to this dude and see what's up with him. You know, see how he reacts. See if he reacts. What does he know? What do we know? What don't we know? Hi, Vivia.
I'll go on ahead and make something in the kitchen.
She seems rather considerate. She's a nice girl.
Yeah.
I wish you'd be more considerate to me.
Alright, Vivia, what do you want to talk about? What's up? Are you joining us now?
Yuma,
Please say yes.
does light shine into your world now that you've obtained the truth?
I don't know. It's like you said. I feel as though the world's ended. I tried so hard to find the truth. Should I not have done that?
You should ask yourself that tomorrow. The you of tomorrow will have an answer for the you of today.
As usual, I'm not quite sure what you mean, Vivia.
What's that?
It was hidden in the drawer of the chief's desk. It seems like a letter from Anonymous.
Anonymous? You mean Yomi?
Of course, he didn't know Anonymous was Yomi. This letter mentioned the truth behind his wife's death 4 years ago.
The truth?
It describes how Dr. Weska conspired to murder her. The facts were laid out, cold and calculated. I wonder, how did the chief feel when he read it? It's not hard to imagine him burning with a desire for revenge against Dr. Weska. By the way, this letter arrived right after I was dispatched to Kanai Ward. In other words, the motive and means were both in the chief's hands.
So the letter was the trigger.
In my ghost form, I've seen the chief staring at this letter in secret many times. Back then, I didn't know what he was reading. But I know the chief was thinking about it constantly. Perhaps the map of the lab was sent together with this letter.
If so, then it was a total setup.
I'm sure the chief deeply regretted using her fortes as part of his crime. Or maybe that's just the truth I seek. Maybe it's nothing more than wishful thinking.
You might be right. I think the chief wavered back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, I agree.
Some people think Vivia is cold-hearted, but I think he cared deeply for the chief. He really did admire him.
Well, I think he's terrible at showing it. He needs to work on his facial expressions at the very least.
By the way, Yuma. Yomi definitely was the mastermind who worked in the shadows to put this together. With that aside, there's one more person I'm curious about.
You mean Makoto Kagutsuchi? I know. Do you think it was a coincidence he brought me to the lab today? Or... Oh, the phone.
It's a call from the WDO. We should go back inside.
I know about Yako Furio. Who could have suspected that a proud detective of the WDO would commit murder?
He doesn't know anything.
If only the World Detective Organization had sent support to Kanai Ward sooner.
Stop it. There's no point in saying that now.
I can hear you. Enough idle talk. Focus. The only thing a detective must do is solve cases. Concentrate on solving mysteries. Emotions will only shackle you as a detective. Emotions must be discarded to reach a perfect solution through a perfect deduction. I know you're suffering from the loss of your chief, but the investigation must continue. Until Kanai Ward's ultimate secret is revealed, the great global mystery will never be solved.
I bet you're evil.
These are heavy responsibilities. It demands your complete attention.
In that case, please tell us, what is the great global mystery? Many master detectives have already been killed. Keeping us in the dark could lead to more deaths. Like what happened to our chief.
Very well. The great global mystery is... a mass kidnapping case.
Huh? Kidnapping?
That's it?
Yes, countless people from around the world have been kidnapped and taken to Kanai Ward. We are searching for the heinous criminal responsible.
Heinous criminal? Lots of people have been taken to Kanai Ward?
So are the homunculi just like a bunch of people that have been fused together to like boost their abilities and stuff?
Well, I have an idea.
Huh? Seriously?
Alara seems to know something. You'd better go have a chat, Master.
The restricted area. They could gather all the kidnapped people there.
You're right. That would be the perfect place to hide them.
I was planning on discussing it later, but there is some new information about that place.
Do tell?
It appears that the restricted area does in fact have a corpse disposal facility.
However, there are lots of rumors about the restricted area. For example, they even say it's a corpse disposal facility where bodies from Kanai Ward are dumped off. What? That rumor was true?
Does it really
In
make
Kanai
a rumor
Ward,
if it's true?
corpses rot easily due to the humidity from the rain, so they are quick to retrieve bodies. The corpses are then loaded onto trucks and transported to the restricted area for disposal. But that process is managed by a department with a handful of people working directly for Amaterasu's CEO. On top of that, they are only involved in transportation. They aren't aware of what happens afterwards. How the bodies are buried and who buries them is a mystery.
All of this secrecy around the burials.
I have an idea of
Suspiciously
the
cautious.
reason, but I
The CEO is that Makoto guy, right?
I
Does
don't
he
want
have
to
something
say
to do with
it's-
the corpse burials?
But how is the global kidnapping case related to a corpse disposal facility?
I know! They are forcing the kidnapped people to bury the bodies!
I doubt it. Why bother kidnapping just for that?
Anyway, there's definitely something happening in the city. Something sinister.
We just don't know what it is.
While we're at it, perhaps I should share the information I've obtained as well.
Divya.
Huh? You got something too?
That anemic vampire knows something. I sure wish we'd gotten the whole story right away.
Divya, what you can
Let's
tell
go
them?
find out what that anemic vamp...
I don't know if it has anything to do with what's going on here. But while I was using spectral projection to search for the secret lab, I kept hearing about a strange rumor in town. There's a taboo among Kanai Ward's residents. Something they must never discuss in front of outsiders.
Taboo?
He's probably the only one who could have learned that. I doubt anyone would mention it in front of detectives.
So what was it about?
The Blank Week Mystery.
The Blank Week Mystery?
Unfortunately, all I know is its name, and that it's taboo to mention it in Kanai Ward.
Huh? That's it? I don't get it.
Well, it does sound ominous. Maybe it has something to do with the mass kidnapping and the restricted area.
But all we have to go on is the term.
The Blank Week Mystery is taboo in Kanai Ward. I wonder if Kurumi has heard about it. I should ask her after this meeting with number 1.
She's an informant who may be hiding information. If that's true, you'll have to torture the info out of her.
You just really want to torture a high schooler.
Great global mystery in the restricted area, the Blank Week Mystery, and a heinous criminal pursued by the WDO. After coming this far, we're still discovering more mysteries. How are they all connected? What is going on in Kanai Ward?
Detectives, listen closely. If this case is ignored, then more people shall end up becoming the victims of this criminal. The only ones who can stop it, the only ones are us detectives.
Do you have a bunch of bright colored
The World
piercings?
Detective Organization will never overlook a mystery. Any and all truths must be exposed, understand? We are aiming, as always, for a perfect solution.
And as long as I'm involved in this investigation, I will be the one to guide us toward finding that perfect solution. Our moment of truth is finally at hand. Go forth, proud detectives. Eliminate all mystery.
What?
Okay, so he's not evil. Good to
What's going
know.
on?
What was that flash?
There was something going
Number
kaboom.
one, I heard an explosion. What's that? Another branch. A news flash. All right, give me the video feed.
We bring you breaking news. The WDO headquarters has been struck by a terrorist bombing. Here's live footage from the scene. You can see the fierce fire consuming it. For those of you just tuning in,
Terror attack?
Hold on. The World Detective Organization? No way. Impossible.
What is this? What is happening? Master, this is... What is...
Alright, he's evil then.
I must rewind.
No, it's gas. Everyone, hold your breath.
I wanna die someday.
I don't even know if he was affected by the gas. I think he just decided to lay down. I don't know how to leave this off. Chaos. All chaos. Goodbye.